Sean, this weekend, ANZAC, and it's a time when we remember the fallen and the contributions that they made.
It's very interesting, isn't it? Because, it depends historically how you look at the ANZAC story. But for me personally, the issue is it is an opportunity and always has been ever since my children were small in the UK, and we did Remembrance Day is what it is, it's called in the UK on the 11th of November. For me, it is the opportunity to sit your kids down and to put history into that, exactly as you say, that this is people making contribution of their lives for you to have the freedoms that you have today. And it's no different than what's happening now, isn't it? I mean, there is a war, there is a battle. It may be done in a different way, but that is exactly what frontline workers are doing. And I think it's a brilliant opportunity for even little children to understand what contribution means. And actually, the conversation for me is about citizenship. What does it mean to be a citizen? How do you choose to contribute to the greater good of the community that you live in? And that's exactly what the ANZACs did, yeah? And their families, yeah? Because you had the soldiers and the military themselves, but you still had wives with children running farms, trying to make the world go round back in New Zealand while they were off there fighting the war. It can open up a whole lot of conversation about how does somebody choose to contribute their life, literally put their life on the line for the greater good of other people. And in today's world, I think there's a lot of people who can't even begin to get their heads around that anybody would do that. Well, it is happening today, now. We've got cleaners, nurses, factory workers, people serving me my bread and eggs at the supermarket who are doing exactly that. Getting out of bed every morning and going to a front line to provide and to keep other people safe. So for me, it's a really good analogy and a way to sit down and start having conversations among ourselves about how on earth do these people do this? Who are they? And how do we support them and emulate them? And again, this whole point of memory, that is absolutely imperative, that we all stop and actually focus, yeah, and show our love of who they are and what they've contributed. Because had they not have done that, had all of those people not stood up for their values and their beliefs, our world would be a very, very different place.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound too dramatic, but it's also about sacrifice, isn't it?
Of course it is, yes. And that's a big word, isn't it? I mean, it's not a word we often hear in today's world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is about sacrificing. There, anybody that's getting out of bed and going to work, as I've listed all of those frontline workers, they are sacrificing their safety and sacrificing the guaranteed safety of their families by doing what they're doing. And I think that we can't ever move away from the magnitude of how special human beings are when they're prepared to do that. And that is exactly what the essence of the ANZAC teaches us, yeah? But it's relevant in today's world. That's my point, that yes, it is about history, and yes, it is about honouring those that have fallen and sacrificed. But the conversations we need, especially with young people, is to get them engaged and make sure that they understand it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of interesting conversations around the dinner table probably tonight and tomorrow because, of course, we're not going to be able to celebrate ANZAC in the same way that we normally would.
No, but that doesn't mean we can't do it. Saw outside the house, I don't know who lived in the house, but there were pictures of poppies and there was a little poem, a couple of quotes that were written on the street. And by the look of them, they'd been done by quite young kids, but don't forget, because that's just not an option, yeah? It doesn't matter what you do, even if you just go and stand out in the garden for 5 minutes, reflect and send some good vibes out in the world. That's good too, yeah? But you do need to do it. It is important that we do it, to recognise and to honour people who have given ultimate sacrifice for our freedom.
Thank you so much for your contribution today, Sean.
My pleasure.
It's wonderful.
Keep safe.